the 5th Tuesday of the month, and we have a town hall meeting. And the first thing I would like to say is Happy Kansas Day.
That's right.
This is our 158th birthday today. Kansas, did you know that? No. All right. Lauren, do we have anything?
Well, we are live. Hang on, let me make sure it's looking for me. But I don't think we have any questions.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's just go around, everybody tell about themselves, what they do, and how long they've lived in Garden City or Finney County. That'll take 5 minutes.
That'll
Well-
take
Or
5
less.
minutes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Troy, you can be
Well,
first.
that's really, I thank you for allowing me to go first, Mayor. I'm Troy Enrus, so I do lots of different things. I have a State Farm Insurance agency, and we've had that I work with my dad. We've been in business for he's been there almost 40 years. So I've been there not as many as that. I'm also really involved in a lot of civic work. I love working with our local health coalition. I do write grants and do some things like that. And I do have my own consulting business, so keep very active in our community. I lived here and moved away, and then couldn't hardly wait to get back. So I was always glad to get back to Kansas. I lived in Oregon. I used to say Oregon, and then they said, "Where's the gun in Oregon?" So I had to be careful. But that's Oregon. So I lived out there 2 years. Enjoyed it, and it was. I thought I would never get tired of rain. I was wrong. Love Kansas. Love being back here, and I'll tell you, in Garden City truly is. I mean, it's a gem out here in Southwest Kansas.
Your kids?
Yeah, 4 kids. I just have one graduate from college. Cannot believe it. So she graduated from Emporia. That's Maggie. Emily is at Washburn, and she's in pre-law. And then Elizabeth, she's told me several times, but she changes her major a lot. So she's at Emporia, and then Drew's a junior at the Garden City High School. So they all graduated from, along with I'm a proud Garden City High School alumni. So they all graduated from Garden City High School. Wouldn't have wanted to go anywhere else. So. And my wife Brenda is incredible. So she's at home watching us online. So hopefully there's some watchers. So.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melvin Dale. What do? Honeydews. That's my professional occupation at this point in life is honeydews. I've been in Garden City since 1978. I came here after retiring out of the Navy, and I went into law enforcement and did that for 30 years and goofed around for a while, and then I became a city commissioner. I love this town. I'm anxious for the future of the next 4 or 5 years to see the growth that's going to occur in the city, not only with the projects of the city, but also with the Star Bond projects, and I suspect some other items will probably develop in the period while those are going on. And I think there's a great study being done by the city right now for the citizens of Garden City, referencing to the big pool. And as we all know, the pool's been there for a number of years, and it's aging and costing more to operate than in order to be conservative with water, we need to look at how we're going to operate the pool. And for interest, in case a lot of you people out there in TV land have never known it, but sometime back in the 70s, they actually put a boat on the water at the pool and pulled a skier around the pool. And so there is some pictures of that. I think you can go to the museum and request it. They'll give you a picture of someone skiing on the big pool if you're interested. And that just goes to show you how big that pool was before they've redesigned a lot of it. But other than that, it's great to be in Garden City, and it's great to be a commissioner and be a part of the group that we have here. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner Cessna.
Roy Cessna, I'm the Public Information Coordinator for Garden City Public Schools. I'm also actively involved on a lot of other committees in the community. I have 2 kids, a 5th grader at Bernadine Sitz Intermediate Center and a 8th grader at Horace Good Middle School. And yeah, next 2 weeks they're going to start enrolling in the high school. It's like, yeah, we're going to have a freshman next year. Oh, great. But and then my wife, Julie, been in the community for 20 years. Great community. Really trying to leave it better than what I started out with, and something where hopefully my kids can come back if they do leave to go to school, or if they want to just stay, but leave something where they can come back and stay in their hometown. So that's really what I'm striving for as a city commissioner, and we've done a really great job so far, and the future is really bright on things to come for Garden City.
Thank you. Commissioner Burns.
I'm Lindsay Burns, and I've been motioning, not to my fellow commissioners to shush, but to my 3 young sons who are sitting in the front row. And I'm a single mom, and I have 3-year-old Tommy, and 6-year-old Mikey, and 8-year-old Maddie. In second grade. That's right, I know what grade you're in.
Sometimes you have to help moms.
It's true, sometimes I do forget things. Anyway, they've come tonight, and I guess that's one of the reasons that I wanted to be a city commissioner, for a lot of reasons, but one that's very important to me, is to model civic engagement to my children, and I thought it was important that they come and see what this looks like, and I didn't know if they'd make it through a whole business meeting, but I'm proud of them for coming tonight. When I'm not taking care of them, which is most of the time, I do work. I'm an internal medicine and pediatric trained physician, and I work in Wichita as a hospitalist, so I commute back and forth. And I always wanted to live in Garden City. It's my hometown. Holcomb was my hometown. I always wanted to come back. That was my dream, to come back and be a hometown primary care doctor. But childcare is difficult, and other life things intervene, and so this is how we're doing it right now. But it's working out okay. So I love being part of the commission. I've learned an enormous amount, and I love being part of this organization.
Okay, thanks. I'm Dan Fankhauser, and I've been part of this community for 70 years, like I said previously, and raised my family here. We have 5 kids between Vivian and I, and all of them live away from here as well. The closest one is in Lakin, but we have kids in Tokyo and Canada, Kansas City, and Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm an architect by trade, and also have a business called Rental Enterprise that my brother and I own. Garden City, main reason I wanted to be a part of the commission was to give back to my community. You know, we've worked here, been in business in Garden City for several years, and sold that business in '96. So we've been part of this community for a long time, and I'm very proud of Garden City and the way it's grown. So that's all I have. Anything else that we need to discuss, or any questions from the audience? Did I hear?
There is a question.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you can say it.
Go ahead. State your name.
There's Celine Hurtado. There is a question on Facebook. Troop 712 is watching, and they want to know if the big pool will be open this summer.
Short
Yes.
answer, yes. After that, we've got to discuss after this year, but it will be open this year, probably, late May,
May 28th.
28th. Yeah. We'll have a complete report on that later on, and Jennifer Cunningham has been around talking to a lot of the grade schools and high school, and she'll be giving us a full report on that survey. And then we can make a decision long-term. Anything else?
Got some new arrivals, so
Yeah.
shut it down.
Yeah.
They were about ready to wrap up. Hey, you guys want to start over?
Yeah. I was going to say, when Commissioner Dale talked about,
Okay,
Yeah.
now it's a quiz. No, I have to
Yeah.
remember what you said.
yes, when
Yeah.
Commissioner Dale talked about the boat, when we were young, we used to go out and watch them. The elephants used to,
Sure.
their annual track where the elephants used to swim, and that was, I mean, the fence was just lined, I mean,
Oh,
3 or
yeah.
4 people deep watching the elephant swim, and so that was a
Oh,
huge highlight.
They loved it.
Now you can swim with the dogs, which is not quite the same as watching the elephants, but it's something else, yes.
Fun nonetheless.
Yeah, that's one word.
So, Tuesday, at the next city commission meeting, our 11 o'clock workshop is going to be the presentation that's been going to schools and to civic groups. So, you can remind your neighbors and friends and folks that you interact with that our workshops are open to the public, and anybody that hasn't gotten a chance to see the presentation that sort of lays out the policy issue, I think is the best way to characterize it, and maybe some of the competing values that relate to not just the big pool, but what do we do with aquatics in the community in the future. It's a great opportunity to see that, and it's not required before taking the survey on the future of the pool, but I do think it serves as a really good background and helps shape the questions in the survey, much like the questions you're going to take up as city commissioners as we move forward. And yeah, I mean, this is a long-term decision-making process. Not only will the big pool as we know it, be open this summer, and we'll put all our energy and effort into it, but depending on what the answer is long-term, there may be another year or two after that before the capital project goes underway, either there or somewhere else. So there's still life in the big pool. It's just limited. And so invite everybody. For a lot of staff members, we're going to have some folks at the workshop on Tuesday at 11 a.m. because they haven't got to see it yet, and they want to take the survey too. So look for a little bit of an audience at that. Subsequently, the following workshop on the 19th is about Horse Thief Reservoir. You got an update from those folks last year, and they're going to come back and do that again. For anybody that's interested in learning more about Horse Thief Reservoir, this is the best opportunity. They will, spend, as 30 or 45 minutes going over everything that's available there, their calendar of events, what the costs are, how do you reserve a campground or a yurt,
Yeah.
or some of those types of things, the bridle trail, the mountain biking trail, what watercraft you can have on it. So any question you have about Horse Thief Reservoir, great opportunity. We're so thankful that they came down. They recognize that a big chunk of the money that goes towards the operation of Horse Thief Reservoir comes from Garden City and Finney County. So they're coming out here to acknowledge that contribution and acknowledge that the City Commission appoints a person to their board. The County Commission will join us as well. The County Commission also appoints somebody to their board. So they'll serve a little bit of a dual purpose to do a joint meeting at that. So just a little teaser. Invite your friends and neighbors to come to the next 2 workshops.
Thanks, Matt. And that's on the second floor in the main room.
That's right.
Right
Folks
across,
familiar with this
yeah.
building and they know what
Yeah.
room you're in right now, it's right across the hall. But
Hall.
if you don't, it's the large meeting room at the second floor of the City Administrative Center.
Thank you. Anything else for commissioners? Have anything? Nothing?
I think we're good to go.
All right. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and see you next time. All right. Well. Mom?
the time I did this, I was like, Troy's talking,
Yeah.
I didn't need to do.
We are advocates and defenders. We are champions and friends. We are deep sea divers and river riders. We are scientists and researchers, and so much more.